Welcome back to Crypto Rolly, the crypto watch that never stops. Live technical analysis, price predictions, and trading. All right, guys, we got a pump. So looking at the daily, you can see that the volume actually on the daily is not so impressive. However, if you go down to the 4 hour, you can see that this pump was larger than any of the previous candles for almost about a month here. Competing with this one way back here. So this was a nice breakout. We broke out of that range that we've been talking about. But the follow through, if you go down to a lower time frame, you can see there's not much follow through here. All right, so that's my only concern as far as this pump. However, it's going to be a very bullish daily candle close. We got a few hours left in the day, but you are looking at a higher high. As long as you close this body above 7,400, you'll have a higher high as far as the candle body close goes. You do have a higher high with this wick, so everything is still in an uptrend. Higher lows, higher highs, bullish candle. Hit the 8K target on BitMEX. So it's looking good, and I have a theory that if we can reclaim the 8K level, we may be back in a bull market. So if you like these videos, hit that like, leave a comment, please. Anything will help the algos. That's what they say. Leave a comment. If you have any questions or just want to leave a thumbs up. Also, hit the subscribe if you're not subscribed. Tick the bell for notifications. All right, and I am not your financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Do your own research. Trade at your own risk. Guys, things do feel a little bit better today. However, there is pandemic crisis. We will talk about that going forward. Okay, so I do have the group. If you're interested, it's still free for the month of April. The link is down below. Posting charts, trade setups, community chat, you name it. Let's keep it moving. I wanted to show the market. We can see Bitcoin up 6%. The volume back above a billion, 1.5 billion. Ethereum's up 4%. Chainlink up almost 5%. Tezos 10%. Cardano almost 15%. Looking good. Stellar 17%. What is going on with Stellar? All right, so the market looks nice. The crypto fear and greed index, this was posted last night, was at a 19. I imagine if we close at this level, we will move up in that greedy level. And we've been talking about this daily. We have been down in the fearful zone for a very long time. And it just didn't feel like we would get a major pullback until we can climb out of the fearful zone. As long as people are fearful and think that the economy is crashing, the prices have to go lower, the price just keeps going up. It's doing actually the opposite of what a rational, reasonable mind would think, right? Okay, the markets can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. We've been talking about that. So, we could get a nice rally and maybe you don't see a real pullback until we get into the greedy level again. That would be a normal market scenario, okay? But things have not been normal lately. We all know that. But guys, yeah, I was saying if we broke 7,400, we could totally hit 77, 8K. We did. And as long as people are still calling for a pullback at this level, why not 9K? Why not? There's a CME gap up there. We'll take a look. And then the block halving is only 18 days away. We've been talking about this for quite some time. It's 2020. You have the block halving. What will it do to price? The supply rate is cut in half, makes it harder to mine. We have a fixed limited supply of 21 million in Bitcoin. Oil, they don't know what to do with their oil. Could Bitcoin become that safe place to move your money, especially with unlimited printing of USD? The US dollar is just going to decline in value while Bitcoin increases. So maybe this pandemic in the long run will actually play out for us. All right, so let's look at the chart. What I wanted to show, 75.70, looking good. All right, right from the top, we were looking at, this level here, 7,400. We wanted to get above that level. We couldn't close any candle bodies above it. So today, if we get that candle body close, which it looks like we will, you got a new higher high on the daily candles. We hit 8K on BitMEX. Bitstamp or Coinbase were on 7,775 was the high, 8K on BitMEX. We were looking at that level because we had this trading range here, and it looked like, previous price action could retest it as resistance. But also you can see that when we were at the end of 2019, we bottomed out. We had this inverse head and shoulders formation breakout. The resistance line was right here around 7,775. Once you broke above that resistance level, came back, retested it as support, and then continued much higher. On the pullback farther down, we did land on support at this level again. So you had resistance, flip support, support again, and now hitting it as resistance. So what I want to argue possibly is if we can reclaim this 7,775, better just let's call it reclaiming 8,000, we could potentially be back into a bull market scenario, because I believe we were in a nice uptrend up here, and then we had all of this devastating global crisis, economic crash in the stock markets and everything else happening right here. Okay, so I feel like, yes, we were on a nice run there. We were due for some type of pullback, maybe to here, maybe here. And even back to here, we were still safe. You were still putting in, we put in a new higher high. We broke out of this downward channel. You had strong down resistance coming down along this way. We broke above that. We continued higher. And, had we stalled here, we could have bounced here and then continued higher. You still would have had a higher high, higher than this high. And then you could have put in a lower low, a higher low, a low and a higher low. But, with the pandemic, we had, the black swan event and just, dumped to 3,500, 4,000, whatever. And since then, we have completely retraced that entire move from the big dump. I mean, yes, we were having a pullback before that, but this is where the big dump happened, okay? What was that? On March 12th, I believe. So we have completely retraced that move. If we can claim back above where we dumped from, I think this is very bullish. I think that, yes, Bitcoin dumped with the global stock markets, and then a complete rebound is pretty impressive. And then most importantly, looking at the weekly chart, let me go to my Bitstamp. Okay, I'll go over to the Bitstamp chart. I want to pull up my moving averages, the 21 weekly EMA. We've talked about this a lot on this channel. When you're above the yellow 21 EMA, you're in a bull market, below it in a bear market. That's just a general rule of thumb. Your yellow 21 EMA is at 76.78 on Bitstamp. So you don't even have to get the 8K to get above yellow 21 EMA. But if we can close a weekly above that, we could start arguing that, hey, maybe we're back bullish. Okay, so not only did we reclaim previous resistance, but also, resistance, and then reclaiming the 21 EMA. I mean, these things are lining up. Look at your stochastic on the weekly. The stochastic is turned back up. Okay, you do have other resistance. This orange 50 EMA is at 78.23. But look, we're back above the red 100 EMA. We haven't been able to close above the 100 EMA. It's been several weeks we have tried. Yesterday, I was talking about how 6,000 was the support level, and we just kept pushing it, pressure. Finally, it gave way. The theory, the more times you hit a support or resistance level, the more likely it will finally break. That's a pretty common theory, I would say. So it finally gave way. Well, we've been pushing. Can we finally break that, close the weekly above the 100 EMA? Possibly we don't get above the 21 EMA on this weekly candle, but getting above the 100 at 72.94 would be bullish and a nice step in the right direction. Okay, so guys, if we do fall from this level, get a little bit of a pullback, we want to see 7,300 maintain as support. Okay, otherwise it's just going to be another rejection at the same level, and then beneath 71.93 would be a rejection of the light blue 10 simple. So you're right here, we're right at that critical line. I'm already, impressed that we've pushed past this price right here. That 7,300 was support and was resistance. So to get above 7,300 is already a bullish step in the right direction. We're just going to need to get above, 7,800, call it 8K even, okay? And then, yeah, we could get a little more bullish, guys. Also, on top of that, we have the CME gap at 9K. So this is like adding, a little to that argument that we could go higher. And, if we hit this CME gap all the way at 9K up here, you're going to reclaim that 8K region. Possibly you test up, close the gap, and then you would come back down and test 8K as support possibly. That could be a scenario. So, pullbacks still happen even in uptrends, but with the 9K target to close the CME, could close that, find support above 8K, maybe go sideways or you bounce. But, if we maintain that 8K level for the remainder of the year, I say it's a bull market. Now, could we come up, test these levels, get a rejection down? Of course. So that's why I'm saying I want to see us reclaim these levels. Like 73 was critical, but we also need to find support above it. 8K or 7,800 is critical, and then we need to find support above it. But they are moving in the bullish direction. And, as long as price continues to go up, they say don't fight the trend. It's been very hard not to fight the trend when you just are convinced that we're going into a recession or a depression. Businesses are going to go out of business. People are losing their jobs, unemployment, death. It's very hard to be bullish. So this has been a rough trading range. It's a lot easier to say, don't fight the trend. The trend is your friend, when we're just trading Bitcoin and I don't care about the global news and we're just having our happy day in Bitcoin, the trend is your friend. But it's hard to say that, the bullish trend is your friend amongst, this uncertainty in the world. Okay, I noticed I went blurry there. Hopefully it wasn't too long. Come back. One moment here. All right. This will have to do. Sorry for that. And I'm still kind of blurry. What can I do here, guys? All right. Moving on. Hopefully that's good enough. I'll turn it down. All right. Sorry for the inconvenience. So, but that is basically, what I'm talking about here are those levels, the 7,300, 78 to 8,000. We're moving in the right direction, okay? So just real quick, let's go to the daily because this daily candle is important. You can see that it is a bullish candle right now, and it's going to close above this. You have a higher high, like I was saying. Looking at your moving averages, you are hitting resistance right here. Let's see, this is the red 100 EMA at 75.50. Price is 75.69. Close above 75.50 is pretty bullish too. And your green 200 EMA, the light green 200 EMA is at 78.92. The dark green 377 EMA is at 78.43. So I'm thinking if you close above 75.50, at least 7,800 is definitely a doable target, I believe. Otherwise, if you close beneath 75.50, you're starting to possibly put in a range between the 100 EMA and the orange 50 EMA, possibly between here. And your orange 50 EMA is at 71.50. I will say the Stokes on the daily are crossed up, okay? On the 12-hour, your Stokes, let's take a look at those, are crossed up. Also nice. Look at this bullish candle on the 12-hour. Where's this price? 75.40. The 200 EMA on the 12 hours at 75.40. So close above that will also line up with the daily close above 75.50. Close beneath that level, also looking at the range in between here, okay? Potential. But your weekly Stokes turned up, your daily Stokes turned up, your 12-hour Stoke is turned up. Let's look at the 4-hour real quick. On the 4-hour, your Stokes are at the top and high and cross down, and your RSI is high. All right. So in general, during this ranging type action, you can see on the 4-hour RSI, this was the top here when you were overbought. Didn't quite hit it, but this was basically in general the top. You can see over here you hit overbought. Not much of a top. Not much of a top there. Overbought here. This was the top, but it didn't reject fast. Sorry, you can hardly see that. Let's do that. Okay, there. So you went sideways there once you hit the overbought on the RSI, the price went sideways. And you know, you can see every time we got high on the RSI, the price went sideways, ended up taking a little bit of a dip, and we are high on the RSI. So could we also continue sideways in a little dip? Very possible. You know, like I said, on the 4-hour, this was very nice bullish volume, larger than we've seen, but we've seen a fall off in the volume. However, that daily candle is very strong, and depending where that daily candle closes, you could get another leg up, and the RSI could continue a little bit higher. You can see the RSI has gone higher than the current level. We're at 72. You know, you saw back here a 76. You know, it can go higher than that as well. When Bitcoin's bullish, you know, the RSI can go overbought and stay overbought. But when you're ranging is when, you know, the overbought and oversold is more reliable. All right, guys, 75.82. You know, if you go down to the 1-hour, it looks like we were putting in a bit of a bull flag potentially. You know, the RSI was overbought here, came down, looking to make another attempt up. The stochastics crossed down, looking to cross back up. You know, bit of a symmetrical, you know, sideways pattern. You know, we just need to see an uptick in volume. You can see how the volume increased here, and then we had the big pop. Well, we need that volume to at least come in again to break, to get that another leg up. Otherwise, low volume, chop around, test down to support anywhere between 7,500, 74, 73. If you get a nice bounce from there, you know, continuing the higher low trajectory, we could push higher. Okay, so I think that's all for today, guys. Making this a short video. Basically, you know, the stocks did bounce today, but at the end of the day, the stocks actually finished a little bit negative. There was negative news about this potential Gilead vaccine. Basically, the tests are showing that it's not effective. So, you know, we were looking for some hope with the vaccine, and this one's not looking like it's going to be the one. So the price has tanked a little bit, but we're bouncing back again. So looking good. Hit that like for me one more time, and I will see you guys next time. Rolly roll.